So which one of you have taken birth control?
We've actually both been on birth control.
You heard that right. Nina and Daniel recently took part in a human test trial for male birth control. This is just one of a few promising options in developments. And this is big news because there hasn't been a single new form of male contraceptive since the no-scalpel vasectomy was introduced in the 1980s. And that's mostly because of a lack of funding and interest from Big Pharma. So men have been left with just two options.
Condoms and vasectomy.
Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. You have no idea the physical toll the 3 vasectomies have on a person.
Yeah, not great.
Condoms have actually a pretty high failure rate of 13%, and vasectomy requires surgery, so it's really important that men have more options.
And they're coming. Researchers are closer than ever before. Daniel tried a hormonal gel, but if hormones aren't your thing, there's also an option called Atom.
We've developed the first ever hydrogel that we're implanting into the vas deferens to block sperm, where it's long-lasting, non-hormonal, and reversible.
Oh, and it doesn't affect sensation. Impressive, right? But why do we need more contraceptive options, especially if women have about a dozen?
I do love this question. It's really about choice. Making the most options available is going to make sure that people are contracepting to the best of their ability, because it's not one size fits all.
And recently, this effort has taken on a new importance.
We know that male contraception can be a part of the solution for this problem. Increasing the use of contraception will decrease the number of abortions that need to be done. So it's really important for us that we bring Atom to market and we give couples the ability to control their own bodies.
Nearly half of all pregnancies are unintended, so the current contraceptives are not meeting demand. And a lot of them have the potential for side effects.
Really bad skin sensitivity, breakouts, headaches, worsening periods, breakthrough bleeding, weight gain, difficulty eating, nausea, that kind of stuff.
3/4 of the whole world relies on female partners for birth control. There's a lot of responsibility that comes down to women to be the owners of not only contraception, but also pregnancy and family planning. Male birth control will reduce some of the burden that come on women, and finally, will make men better partners.
And it could all start with this.
It's on the way. We just have to be patient.
This is Just Might Work, a show about surprising solutions to our biggest problems.
My options for contraceptive have been pretty much to choose the least worst option.
This is Heather. She spent the last decade doing research and product development on female contraception. Now, she's leading the charge to introduce male contraceptives.
Honestly, the male and female contraceptive development space was running neck and neck when the pill came on the market. There were some setbacks on the male side that the female pill just came to market sooner.
After that, Big Pharma really hasn't been interested, considering female contraception is a more than $5 billion industry in the US. For example, one promising effort was cut short by trial runners because of side effects, even though most men in the trials said they would continue.
Yes, contraceptive access has allowed a lot of autonomy. We've been able to complete our educations, start careers, and time our families at our choosing. But with that has come a great deal of side effect challenges.
It's so much trial and error for women trying to figure out what the right birth control is for them, to have to be restarting and starting new medications, not knowing if it's going to be covered by your insurance. Some of them are also really invasive.
To be able to trade off with a partner would be really beneficial and a desirable option. What we've forgotten is that men are also reproductive beings, so there's an opportunity to work together to prevent an unintended pregnancy.
To tackle the funding challenge, Male Contraceptive Initiative supports early discovery stage products, including this familiar site, Atom, the non-hormonal injectable hydrogel, and it just might be the first solution available to the public.
Deep down, I'm a scientist.
Kevin started working on male birth control as a teenager, inspired by this show on MTV.
I was seeing that a lot of the problems that these guys were talking about, these unintended pregnancies, they were blaming on condom failure or their lack of wanting to use condoms.
Did you use a condom at night? That was the one night.
And all of a sudden it dawned on me, why is there no male birth control? With female contraception, the drug really has to stop one egg once a month. With male contraception, we're talking about stopping millions and millions of sperm that are produced every heartbeat. And so finding a drug that's able to be really effective in doing that is really difficult.
Contraline's approach involves an injection into the vas deferens, the duct which transports sperm to the urethra.
There were certainly attempts to develop a vas occlusive device over the last 30 years, but none of these technologies were successful.
These ideas have varied from using polyurethane in China in the 70s, but it was really toxic, to using silicone rubber in Indonesia and the Netherlands, but it was too stiff and sperm would just travel around that rubber plug, to using plastic polymer, which is what Rysug out of India is based on. The problem with it is that it seems to be really long-lasting and does not have good reversal data yet.
So where does this leave Kevin and his team?
How do you develop a material that is really effective at blocking the vas deferens, be very durable but elastic, be safe, and also reversible? And it's a material science challenge.
What makes our technology unique is that we have first a non-hormonal, hydrogel-based, durable, highly biocompatible device that can be reversed.
Pre-filled syringes with the solvent. You can see it dissolve. So you can see the gel being dispensed now.
And then flip it over. So when we block the vas deferens, we're actually just blocking those little sperm cells. So for lack of better words, the guy is shooting blanks, which means that the patient will not feel or see a difference, and there's no effect on sensation.
Contraline has already had success with their preclinical models on canines, so they're moving on to human trials in Australia, which has one of the highest vasectomy rates per capita.
Assuming all goes well in Australia, we hope to bring the trials to the United States either in late 2023 or early 2024. We now have over 2,700 men who are interested in being in the trial. The majority of men are in this kind of 25 to 39-year-old age group. That's what we think is the target market.
So far, the results of Contraline's in-human trials have been promising. We checked in with Kevin after the first 4 patients were injected with Adam. He said they were, quote, discharged very quickly after the procedure and have recovered well. This is good news for the future of male birth control. And for the 70% of men interested in male contraception, like Daniel. His experience taking birth control is a hormonal approach funded by the National Institutes of Health.
At the beginning, there was a lot of like, okay, what is this actually doing? Like understanding that the gel has testosterone, it's like being absorbed into the skin and basically blocking your sperm production.
Nest is a gel that is applied on a man's shoulder blades or upper arm every day. It does 2 things: inhibits sperm production while not affecting sexual drive or function. The key bit of science here is that the gel doesn't really impact testosterone levels, which minimizes side effects. Daniel was going into a lab at UC Davis to regularly check his sperm count after he started using the gel.
The first few times I didn't notice like a huge change, but then like exponentially it went from like, I don't know, like 36 or something to like 19 to 0. So I'm like, okay, I'm seeing this, I'm looking at the chart and I get a sense of what's happening. So that was really reassuring.
For Daniel and many of the couples that have completed the trial, the gel worked well. And on top of that,
so I didn't really have any noticeable side effects. I may have gained some weight, but that also just could have been, you know, eating and COVID and all the things. The gel is pretty easy to work with. I didn't really have any problems with it. You have to put it on like kind of like the pill, which is the same time every day or pretty close to it.
Daniel's sperm count still wasn't back to normal levels when we talked to him, but the NIH says it should be in about 4 months after stopping Nest.
Obviously, we came in this study to sort of support the research that they were doing, but we learned a lot more along the way. I don't know how many more research studies I'm going to want to do, but I think it was a good first experience for us.
Even with such positive results from trials so far, it will still most likely be 5 to 10 more years until we see a male birth control product on the market. And hopefully by then, there will be options.
That's one thing that's very special about the male contraceptive space. It's a very small and extremely collaborative space. So this idea of a rising tide lifts all boats, that's really at the center of what we all are focusing on.
It doesn't feel like there's a race because I don't think that every guy is going to get Adam. I don't think every guy is going to want hormones. And that's the thing, is that I actually hope that 10, 15 years from now, all of these options are on the market.
I think that is a tremendous opportunity that we have, and I will personally fight for that for the run of my time here. Because when you see an opportunity to change the world, you should take it.